Hey there, this is Dutch, and welcome to episode 11 of my Minecraft Let's Play. So, yeah, the Wizard's Tower, it's basically done as far as I'm concerned, at least until we get some brewing equipment. So, yeah, I'll just show you around. This room's still empty, because, yeah, I'm eventually going to put some chests and stuff in here. This is the brewing room. I should actually fill these with water, and over here is where there should be a whatchamacallit, brewing stand once we manage to get some blaze rods. This is the study. This is basically just a room for looks, but you know, it has a little chest. And of course the top floor, which is just the enchanting room and basically also a lookout. I decided to put some plants here just to make it seem less empty. So yeah, we are finished with that, so we're gonna be moving on to bigger and better things, of course. And there's actually something I forgot to show last time, because this is where the well used to be, and I decided to remove that, but by God, those things are freaking deep. Just look at that. That took me longer than I thought it would. It wasn't that long, but still had to dig all the way down in order to actually remove all the water. And I should actually be filling this hole up sometime, but I won't be doing that right now. Yeah. All my wheat has grown properly as well. Let me just harvest that. Yeah, so I think what we're gonna be doing next, maybe doing something with this house as well. I was thinking of just making a slightly more organized cow farm, because this is all a bit, yeah, it's a chaos basically. It's really annoying to actually feed these guys because they're all just so cramped up. And I can't really effectively keep numbers on them. So I think we're gonna probably change it so that we have a couple of rooms with, I don't know, maybe 6 cows apiece. So if we have like 5 or 6 of those, then that would give us plenty of cows for meat and hides. So yeah, we're gonna have to break down this house over here, and then we will see what we can do with that. Just gonna plant some more wheat here, and it'll actually also serve as my storage room as it is now. Let me just make somewhat of a barn style thing. I'm not entirely sure, just want to organize those cows. Because the chicken farm's manageable enough, you know, you just get your eggs here, and then all the chickens that you gather in here you can just kill. But with the cows you actually have to be careful that you don't kill too many, because then you're going to have trouble breeding again, and really stands to benefit a lot from a little bit more organization. Yeah. I'm wondering if I want to get started on that, because I'm gonna need a lot of wood. We may do that at a later time. You know what? I think we're just gonna take our map, and then we're just gonna go exploring some, because as I have said before, I do want to go to a different place sometime. And it would be useful if we knew if there is a suitable place around here. What I'm looking for is basically a very big hilltop. Now we did have the extreme hills biome over in that direction, but I didn't really like that environment, so yeah, let's just go exploring some. Let's see, do I have survival stuff on me? I should probably get rid of that wheat before we head out. And I would also like to gather some saplings of pine and jungle trees if I can. because it's always nice to have all the different kinds of wood at your disposal at all times. So yeah, I say we head off in this direction, because we totally have not been there yet. Steady as she goes. Looks like it's a pretty big forest. I've actually, in the version that I'm currently playing in, the snapshot, there is the large biome map generation. So basically, if you decide to choose map type large biomes, then each different biome will be so much larger. And oh, lava here. Didn't know that. As I said, we've never been in this side of the spawn before, so... But yeah, you can get the large biomes, but I find that sometimes in regular worlds, biomes can be pretty big as well. I've actually had a forest that basically covered like a quarter of a map like this, just in a regular world. So, you know, large biomes can happen, even in a regular map. But they usually tend to be quite small though, so I guess I can understand why they implemented that. It's just a little tidbit of information, something I experienced. Looks like there's a lot of snow biomes around. Well, at least we'll be able to get a pine sapling, no problem. Oh, this is one without trees, looks like. Some ice. We could actually harvest that with our silk Dutch pickaxe, but I don't really need it right now, so I won't. Ooh, pumpkins. We didn't have those yet. So let's just get some. I'd rather, well, nah, I don't really need melon seeds. I would like to find a, whatchamacallit, abandoned mine shaft, because then I could make a cave spider farm as well. And those can be really useful to get your brewing equipment, because you need a lot of spider eyes for certain potions. So having a spider farm is definitely useful. But we may end up making a mob tower once we relocate our base. Then we're going to get to making a really big tower, because, you know, the wizard's tower I built, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, but it ended up being too small to really create much of a good-looking inside, as well as the fact that what I could do with the exterior was pretty limited as well. So I'd like to actually get to building a bigger tower, and, well, a mob tower, of course, doesn't really require any interior design other than making sure that a lot of mobs will spawn in there, but it should be fun. I don't like making stuff that just is an eyesore, so that will be a challenge to make a good-looking mob spawning tower, but yeah, I'm always up for a challenge. Looks like there's some lava over in this direction, actually. Let's go check that out. It's actually visible on the map, so it should be pretty big. Is it up here? Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's quite a substantial amount. Oh well, that's pretty cool. But we know there's some near the spawn as well. And of course we always have our underground lava lake, which I used to get obsidian in the past, so lava's not really that useful for many things. I mean, you know, for some contraptions you may want a couple of buckets of it, but I don't find myself using it that much. I guess you could use it in your designs, actually. It's possible. If you're making a Doom fortress, you know, there's nothing like some lava coming out of your walls, but I don't plan on doing that. Whee! Ice just feels really awkward to walk on in Minecraft. Okay, it's getting nighttime. I really do not care. I have my bow and lots of arrows, 2 stacks, so should be alright. Should be able to one-shot most things. Die. And if not, they will burn to death. Yeah, he's dead. Sweet! It's super effective. I actually... Ooh! Aha! This is what we wanted. Okay, let's cut down a jungle tree here and get ourselves a sapling. But yeah, as I was wanting to say, I actually played a lot of Pokemon in my days. Recently too, actually. I find that, you know, once in a while I get out my DS or my Game Boy Advance and then I just go play some Pokemon. And I think that they're really solid games, you know. Pokemon's probably one of my favorite game series out there. I mean, I like Minecraft, but I don't think Minecraft is my favorite game of all time. I think that would actually either be reserved for a Mario game or a Pokemon game. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really make mental lists like that. I know a lot of people, if you ask them like, what's your favorite movie, they'll give you maybe 3 movies, and they're like, those are my favorite movies. And other people are like, oh yeah, this one, definitely. I don't really have that, you know. I know which movies I find good, or same thing with games, you know. If you ask me, what do you find a good game, I can give you a couple of games, but I really wouldn't be able to tell you which are my favorite games, you know. I don't really do that. Are these ready to... These are cocoa bean pods. I'm not actually sure if I can harvest them. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're good. Okay, that's pretty sweet. We already had some, but it doesn't hurt to have a little more. There we go. Let's see if some saplings have dropped. Doesn't look like it. Come on. Guess I'll cut down another tree here. That's a regular tree. Jungle biome's pretty weird. You can have jungle trees but also regular ones. Trying to find a small jungle tree here. This one's not too big. So yeah, I really like Pokemon. I've never actually delved into the competitive side of Pokemon, because I know there's a bunch of YouTube guys who sometimes post like Pokemon Wi-Fi battles, and those are actually pretty fun to watch, but you know, if you really want to get into competitive Pokemon, that's a pretty tough business, because you need to know your stuff. You know, if you see someone use a certain Pokemon, you have to know what kind of movesets are usually ran on those Pokemon, what their stats are, and, well, these days there's a lot of Pokemon, so yeah, that's not the easiest thing to do. So yeah, I basically just play casually. I know there's also been lots of discussion about the new generations of Pokemon and how they're not as good as the old games, and I at least partially agree. I think that up until Ruby and Sapphire are all great games, you know, first to the 3rd gen. I love Fire Red to death. And, you know, the 4th generation, that was the first generation of Pokemon games that I did not actually buy a version of. And I did play it, but it just, I don't know, there was so much different stuff in that game. It's like the 4th gen... I can't talk. The 4th generation, you know, Diamond and Pearl, they did so much stuff different than the other games. There was... I get the feeling that the entire game was slowed down. So stuff like the walking action and just animations, they were all so much slower, and it made the game a lot less enjoyable. as well as the fact that they I actually like the fact that they removed the item limit on the backpack, but I think that they maybe should have kept the item system, you know, where you could deposit items, because really if you have like freaking 300 items on you, you know, it can be pretty hard to organize, so it would be good if you could just put the items that you're not going to be using anytime soon away. But yeah, that's one thing I didn't like. Not totally anyway. But yeah, I played it until like halfway through the storyline, and it just really couldn't captivate me. The fifth generation, however, I really did like. I am not that... I mean, the designs of the Pokemon is also something that a lot of people trash talk about, basically. And while I do agree that the design of Pokemon has certainly changed over the years, but I don't think that that is necessarily a bad thing. However, there are some designs, I won't go into which, as I'm sure not all of you are really Pokemon fans. And to be honest, I don't even know all of the 4th and 5th gen Pokemon, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. But, yeah, I do like Pokemon. As for other games, I used to play a lot of shooters, but that couldn't really hold my attention after, you know, the first shooter game that I played was James Bond Nightfire. It was a pretty popular game back when it was released. It was mostly on the consoles. I do have the console version for the GameCube, but the PC version is what I really played a lot of. Online, of course, multiplayer. And yeah, that was actually it was a pretty small community back when. It was like I want to say 2004 was when I played that. Ooh, jeez, that was rough. Yeah, that was in 2004, I think. So that's a decently long time ago. Like 8 years. Can you believe it? I was like 10 years old. Anyway, so yeah, I played that a lot, and then when Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare got released, I didn't initially have that game. I had played Call of Duty 2, and I had Call of Duty 3 on the Wii. But yeah, I hadn't really heard about Call of Duty 4, and then my cousin was playing it, and I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And I played a shit ton of that. And then it really started to die down a fair bit, I would say. I didn't play World at War. I did play Modern Warfare 2, but they were all, yeah, kind of crappy. I also played some of the Battlefield series, most notably Bad Company 2 and Battlefield 3. I like those games, but I think that Battlefield 3, I don't know, Bad Company 2 I played quite a lot, but it could be a very frustrating game sometime, and same thing with Battlefield 3, because Battlefield's a lot more team-oriented than shooters like Call of Duty, and that's usually a good thing, but yeah, it makes your performance really team dependent, and whenever I play a video game that is competitive, I try to win. And a lot of the time I would just get matched up with a lot of teammates who didn't really know what they were doing, and it just annoyed me to no end. Basically the same thing in League of Legends, where some people just don't even try, and yeah, that really ruined the game for me. As well as the fact that in Battlefield 3 they changed it so that the guns kill a lot quicker, so it really resembles Call of Duty too much, in my opinion. This is a pretty weird landscape, I must say. Lots of exposed rock and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. We still have a decent amount to do, and I still have 10 more minutes in this episode, so this is all desert, I think. Well, there's a... Ooh. What's over here? Oh. Okay, not as exciting as I thought. Yeah, another jungle here. I should get moving to that ice area over there, because that's where we went cave exploring a couple of episodes ago. And I know there are pine trees over there, so I'm just gonna get the corner done here. But yeah, so basically I've played a lot of shooters, and I'm also a pretty big Nintendo fan, not just Pokemon. I've played bunch of Mario games and Legend of Zelda. I think the only Legend of Zelda game I actually own is Twilight Princess, but I have played others. And yeah, that's a pretty cool series in my opinion. I think Twilight Princess was pretty awesome. At least the I think that was a game that had proper execution of the Wii controls, because I got it on Wii, not on GameCube. And yeah, I mean the sword fighting could get a bit tiresome because you had to keep swinging your Wiimote all the time, but you know, it didn't really bother the gameplay as much. And the stuff like the bow and the hook shots and stuff like that are just, I don't know, they were pretty easy to aim with the Wiimote. You had to have somewhat of a steady hand, but you know, controlling stuff like that where you have to aim exactly with a control stick, it's really not my thing. That's also why I prefer playing video games on PC, stuff like shooters. Like that, I always play on PC because just the point and click accuracy is so much better than with a gamepad. I mean, sure, you can play those games with a gamepad, but it just doesn't feel right to me. I like mouse and keyboard way better. But you know, to each their own. I won't. I'm not a PC elitist or anything like that. There are a lot of people like that who are like, oh, if you don't game on PC, you're not an actual gamer. And then you have stuff like the console wars, and well, that's just freaking silly. I'm not even gonna say too much about that. Just that people who are basically just fanboys, yeah, don't do that. I mean, there was really this. It's not as apparent these days, but back when like stuff like Xbox and PlayStation 2 and GameCube, there was always this discussion about which console is better than the other, stuff like that, and it's like there is no best console. You know, you can think that one is better than the other, but that doesn't mean that it's so. You know, it's all opinion based. If you want to play certain games, you buy certain console. It's as simple as that. And a lot of people just can't get that through their heads. And same thing goes with PC versus console gaming, because you know, consoles have lots of exclusive games these days, and I do think that it's a bit silly that there are basically first-person shooter exclusives that are only released on consoles, you know, stuff like Halo. Because I really think that first-person shooters are meant to be played with a mouse, simply because you have greater accuracy with that. So yeah, I do find that a bit silly, but you know, I don't really mind that much. I don't play shooters anymore anyway. But yeah, that was kind of a disappointment that some games you just couldn't get for PC. Because I only had a Nintendo Wii, and well, yeah, there were no shooters for that console, and the shooters that were available for it were less than amazing. Yeah, we got the saplings. Oh, that's good. Let's just get this done, and then we're gonna maybe explore. I think this area is not too. The top area is probably not too interesting. We went around that, so I think I'll go south. I don't actually know if the top is north on these maps. Um, let's see, that should be the west. So, yeah, top is north. Good to know. Never really too bothered by the wind directions in Minecraft ever since they implemented maps. Because back before maps were implemented, I used to play with a bunch of friends of mine, and it was like, you know, how do you get there and there? And if we didn't have a path laid out, you'd have to actually say it's like this approximately this far to the north or something like that, and then you could use the sun and the clouds to determine where it was. So that was pretty funny how we used to do that. But yeah, stuff like that mountain, it's a bit too steep. I want what I'm looking for is just like a bit of a gentle slope that leads up to an elevated plateau. So yeah, more of a hill than as opposed to a mountain. Although I guess you couldn't really call this a mountain, not in real life anyway, it's not that high. Did we find the... Actually, did we find the cave near the bottom of the map or the one where I think it was near the bottom actually, so I was wrong on that account, but yeah, this isn't really all that high. It would be cool if they... Well, first of all, I think they should raise the cloud height. And I know you can do that with Optifine, which I can't use right now because I'm playing one of the snapshots, but... So yeah, Optifine's pretty sweet as far as mods go. It's not really a mod. I consider it more of a patch. Because it just makes the game, you know, enjoyable, but it doesn't really... More enjoyable, but it doesn't really add any more features that it didn't already have, just options, basically. Yeah, there's the ravine. Wonder... I think we can get down here. Okay. Whoops. Okay, I can do this. I am gonna break about 5 legs, but that's gonna be alright. Yeah, I think they should raise the cloud height since they made the map larger, higher. So they should raise that, and maybe they should include a, you know, like the large biome thing. I think they should include a map type where you can just, where the maps get generated higher. So you could have actual mountain ranges, for example. So yeah, maybe have the generation go up for like 50 blocks more or something like this. More than this, I mean, and then you'd have a lot more variety in your maps, I'm sure. That would be cool. But yeah, just being able to build very tall structures like this, it's really nice because me as well as my friends have had it happen multiple times that we were building something in survival, and you know, especially if you want to build on top of a mountain, you would very easily reach the height limit, and that could be really annoying because basically you wouldn't be able to finish your build. You were building and all of a sudden, oh, I can't build anymore. Well, crap, I still have 3 stories to go. And that sucks. Ooh, a wolf. I do not have any extra meat on me though. Don't want to risk... I think they only eat raw meat actually, I'm not sure. Oh, I don't really need a wolf anyway. they're mostly annoying from what I've heard. Yes, die sheep, die to wolf. Wolves are pretty neat. Ocelots are pretty cool too. Yeah, they don't really serve any practical purpose. The dogs, I mean, yeah, they can defend you, but they won't attack creepers. The cats are pretty useful because they make creepers run away from you. Well, the creepers run away from the cat, so if you have a cat with you, then you won't get attacked by creepers, which is pretty nice, actually. However, pets are seldomly useful when doing stuff like caving because they're just way too likely to end up in a lava pool. As did I. Yeah, I'm just gonna rub it in for myself because I don't usually die so easily in Minecraft. It bugs me. It really does. But yeah, holy crap, that is a big cave. May wanna take note of that. Anyway, I am going to be ending the episode here. I will probably be exploring the rest of this map off camera, and then next time we may get started on that barn thingy I was talking about earlier, or we may do something else. I don't know. I'll see about that. So yeah, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys next episode.